Right, hell yeah. So in this video we're going to be talking about paddling downhill, and sometimes we're stuck over on a particular side. So right here in this eddy, paddling on this side, I feel like I'm in a low spot. What I'm going to do is jump to the other side of the boat, take a couple strokes, and look how much that releases. So the location that I was a very stuck location. So in R1, you might find yourselves in these situations where you're like, man, I could paddle all day and I'm not moving, but I can jump to the other side. And this video is kind of a combination of two things, of paddling downhill and then also getting your body position to the higher elevation. If you ever feel like you're down in a trough and you can't paddle up and out, just shift or jump to the other side that's higher. So over here, this is a higher portion of that eddy. Once we're over there, then we're basically, this eddy is kind of like a boil. And so once you're over on here, then you can paddle downhill, basically, sometimes in any direction you want, but for sure up on this hill, then we can paddle, into this eddy. Its current is going that way, the higher elevation is right there, and so hell yeah. And I think that is true, that this is higher elevation. Obviously it's eddy water going that way. This is the seam, right on the seam of water, not knowing which way to go. And so hell yeah. But this just comes up a lot in R1, where you're just like, man, this feels like concrete. It feels like a low spot. It feels like I just can't paddle. So just jump. And if you can just see that the other side is higher, if you can recognize that, man, this is not favorable, but the other location, just from an elevation difference, is higher, then that's the spidey sense to be like, hey, jump to the higher elevation. Really interesting. I'm going to point out this face right here, just because I'm going to maybe do a little road trip. Maybe this is a little mohawk, but yeah, this is kind of the first face that I've always, if I see a face in trees, just because it's from a mental health perspective, if you're looking at a tree and then you see a face, maybe this is the ear, but for sure eye, steep nose, other eye, that can mess with you, especially if it's your first hallucinations. You're just like, damn, that's because now every time I actually go out to this wave, that season oriented, these are leafy trees, but I can potentially see that same structure. You know what I mean? That's very prominent. So anyway, we're just keeping score with how easy stuff like that pops out. I have a lifetime of experience with bipolar 1 schizoaffective disorder. We do pretty good off meds, regulate ourselves. Haven't had too many major episodes, not too many hallucinations, but this stuff pops out all the time. And then it's just whether you put energy into it. Not energy in a woo-woo sort of way, but like, is that all you can focus your attention on right now? And for me, it's kind of fading. I just wanted to point that out. Hell yeah. Just because if I don't point it out now, I'm not going to make a separate video for that kind of stuff. All right, hell yeah. So if you're stuck in a low spot, and you can recognize that the other location of your boat, the other side, is higher. And this is cool because this is my strong side. Jump to my off side and life is easy. And so that is another opportunity, or that's an opportunity to get good at your offside. And this doesn't even require anything except just forward paddle strokes. Just jumping to the offside and having it be like a magical experience. Hell yeah. You know what I mean? Higher elevation, paddling downhill. So I think he got it on this one. All right, booyah.